Hey friends, I hope you're so well wherever you are in this right now. I would like to share something that I invite you to implore with yourself. Been having a lot of conversations with quite a few people, and there's so many humans on the earth plane right now that are experiencing something similar. So I just want to ask you, when was the last time you cried? And I don't mean just like some tears of like little babies. I'm talking like the big cry, like the one where like your face is contorting and snot is dripping everywhere and you don't even know what you look like. Your body isn't, it's doing its own thing. Like you're not controlling your breathing, you're not controlling anything. You are being breathed by a releasing body. Your eyes are flowing with holy water. Your heart is feeling like it's either being stepped on or being ripped out or being ripped open all at once. I'm curious when the last time it was that you allowed yourself to wail, to allow yourself the type of crying that happens with death. That deep space of grief, of helplessness, of I want it to be different, but it's not different, and I don't know how to make it different. That feeling. That feeling is really, really prevalent right now for humanity. And it's exacerbated because we have the capacity to see what's happening all around the world in the now moments that it's happening, which there has not been a generation of humans that have been able to witness the tragedies all around the world with a swipe of a finger. And so we are inundated. And even if we are not swiping, and if you're just out there talking with humans, if you're going to the farmer's market, if you are in community, you know that there are many people struggling right now, struggling this close to being evicted or spending their last dollar on a medical thing that came up. There's a lot going on, and people don't even want to talk about it. What I'm noticing, people in the West especially, but it's not just the West, people don't want to necessarily share their own personal struggles of their own heart. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do for dinner for my family of 4 this month because I have no money, or all 5 of my kids need to get school supplies and a box of crayons is now $5. I can't afford that. The school's requiring me to buy a $100 backpack for my kindergartner. You know what I mean? Like the cost of living. It's a gift to be able to live, but we have to pay a cost to live. And because we are able to technically live, right? I'll get to this in a second. Because we're technically able to live, we don't really have space to complain, right? People feel guilty for complaining, for expressing their woes and their challenges. People have a really hard time with that because guess what? Somebody else has it worse. Somebody else out there has it worse than you. And so if somebody else has it worse than you, then where is your space to even complain? And not even complain, but just be witnessed in a time of need. Because there are, bombs dropping. There are guns being shot. There are frequency weapons being used. There are bioweapons that are like secret undercover type of like kill you devices. There's propaganda to keep humanity separated. There's so much happening. Meanwhile, there are images of humans who are being starved. And if they're not being starved to death, they might as well be. Because the level and timeline of starvation literally creates so much cognitive and genetic mutations that the capacity for them to even like propagate their lineage is low. And seeing the land seeing the trees be cut down for another row of fancy ass homes that the bank will always own. Watching communities that are dying because there's no economy, there's no whatever. There's a lot. And you're a part of the a lot. And you may be doing super well right now. You may be like living your best life and having all the money and the prosperity because you've done your manifestation 101 and you've done your sex magic and you have been born and bred or married into a family with money. But you still have a heart and you still see it all. And so then, even you, where's your room to even talk about the things? Because even if you were to talk about what's going on in the Congo, do your friends have the depth of compassion that you do? I don't know. Do you feel like you even have space to talk about it when you have a lot of money and you're choosing to go out to eat 6-7 days a week, and so you're not really like living the life to make a change in a way that you wish you could. And that's the story for all of us. Whether you are a have or a have not, you want to make a change and you can't. You can do so much. You can experience your own internal peace. You can create, you can form communities, you can go back to the land, you can reharmonize and familiarize yourself with the ways of the old, like the indigenous reclamation of humanity. And there's a part of all of this, the alchemical process of allowing ourselves, no matter how much you have or have not, no matter how great your life is or not, that there will always be someone who is worse off than you, as just as much as you are always going to have it worse off than someone else in some way. But when we go to the heart of it and we feel I can't do anything. I can't help everyone. I can't save any more money. I can't donate any more money. I can't create another nonprofit. I can't go and clean out all the friggin' litter in the water. I can't do it all. I can't get over there to Palestine and feed them. And I can't get to New Palestine in Ohio and give all the people that are slowly dying from that train derailment that was burned so that, Norfolk Southern could just keep it under wraps. There's so much ugh! And all this to say it's in that energy and feeling of ugh! Or there's so many moments that we're also oh my God, this is such a beautiful day. I can't even contain how beautiful this day is. I got to see a rainbow the other day, and the deer are crossing my path all the time. The butterflies and dragonflies are literally swarming and swirling around me, and how connected I feel to Great Spirit. And that amount of joy and delight and grace and gratitude is so, all of these are really big emotions. And all that to say is these really big emotions get to move through the body. They get to move through the body once we acknowledge it. We have to accept it. And then there's this alignment piece, and there's an assimilation and a way of being. The movement of the energy is really important. To put any of these emotions on the shelf is a massive disconnect to the gift that being a human is. It's saying, no, I don't want to feel that. I can't feel this too much, or I don't want anybody to see me like this, or I don't have time for this because I have to hop on a call. Like, we'll put so many other things in front of the human nature to feel and emote. And there's so much happening around us, good or bad, however you choose to look at it, that really would elicit wailing. Just wailing. And so I allow myself to do this. And it's wild, y'all, because like I feel it build and I feel it build and I feel it build, and it's almost like my eyes get watery like they have a couple times even just sharing all this. And it's like, okay, like it builds and then it goes away because, I don't know, like topic changed or squirrel, and then I feel it again, I heard a song come on the radio, and then it's like the tears well up, but nothing actually happens. It just like, it dissipates. You hear the rolling thunder. And the gift of being able to hear that I have ears to hear that, and cicadas and that bird over there. But I'm not ready. I'm not ready to wail. But it's coming. I do it frequently, like it's not my point though. Historically, thriving humans, meaning those that they were able to live without a system, a government to tell them what to do and how to do it and where to do it and how much it costs to do all that lived with the land and each other. They had rituals, they had ceremony, they had consistent resourcing. They had resources, like they had brothers and sisters around them. They had support with their kids. They had aunts and uncles that were there. They had help. Everybody helped. Everybody helped feed each other, cook for each other, tend to the garden, grow the things, till the soil, like build the homes. We don't have any of that anymore. We have bits and pieces. But the ritual and the ceremony of it, and I'm not talking the like, everything's sacred, everything is a ceremony, and let's just call it that, and we're going to make it the feather in the hat, spiritual propaganda that is just completely annihilating this reality. Not annihilating, inundating. There we go, inundating, my point. But the deep connection with God, Great Spirit, the Nameless Wonder, whatever you want to call it, Para Brahma, like literally any name will do. But like that connection and the rituals that go with that. And there are rituals of celebration. There are rituals for the earth, and there are rituals for mourning, and there are rituals for grief, and there are rituals for wailing. There are rituals for this. And this is another thing. This moving the energy, the wailing. Sometimes it's wailing in song, okay? Sometimes it's wailing in dance. Sometimes it's wailing through talking. Sometimes it's wailing through painting. But there's a bigness to it. There's a passion to it, because there's the Manipura chakra is like the fire center, and the heart is like, I want to just be in healthy relationships with everything ever, because I am the I am. So the Manipura is this fire, and it's working with the heart, and they're both like, we want to do something, but we can't. That's the paradox. We live in a paradoxical reality. We have to be able to hold all of it and do humaning artfully, which means I don't need to shove it down. I also don't need to go beat somebody's face in because I'm mad, or start to just blame everybody. I'm going to blame this person and this person and this group and that group, and tell everybody else how they need to be and how they need to be and how they need to be, blah, 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 because I can't handle what I'm feeling inside. Because that shit happens a lot. Happens a lot. And so we just take a breath. We give ourselves grace. We give each other grace, because we have not been programmed with the template of how to handle everything all at once. We haven't. We don't know that we're in fight or flight all the time, that we're in a constant state of stress and attack and like poisoning of the mind. You know, there's spiritual war happening. It's a war of consciousness, literally. People get rich off of your focused energy. And yet, we as a collective would get rich if we focused our energy on the presence, so that when we are in a space where we get to sit in the woods with the thunder and the cicadas and the thunder and the thunder and the thunder and all of this that starts to fill up the heart, so that, okay. And then what that does is that helps to like kind of connect the fire with the heart. And then there's this, a new energy starts to form, and this new energy can, one, alchemize, transmute the energy of the frustration or the hopelessness. Believe me, you're still gonna feel it, but we're made to feel it. But if we don't feel it with the heart, then it gets all like distorted in the field and shit. So taking this, taking this heart goodness, this passion, this compassion, this ability to just admit that you might be having a hard time for no other reason than you don't even know why, but you're having a hard time. That's okay. And it's okay if you're having a great time. It's okay if you're having a great fucking time, even if there's bad stuff happening. And you can be sad even when good things are happening. Duality. But y'all, we have to move it through. It has to be alchemized. Sweat, tears. Physically, it has to be alchemized. It's not just thinking different. It's not just changing your focus. Humanity is about to pop. The floodwaters of consciousness are about to flow. We are about to be exposed to the brightest of light and goodness and the darkest of dark evilness, so that we can remember that we are the I am, and we're here to hold both and feel it all, multidimensional beings, like all that. Like, yeah, all that's great to know, but you gotta be a human here. We're running on the timeline, y'all. It's time. It's big time. So this is what I wanted to share. I could go on about this. Petrichor. I smell it. It's raining somewhere close enough by that I can smell it. I can smell it. I can smell the rain. It's not even here yet. Our senses are heightened when we become present with what is happening here, what is happening in the close proximity of what I can sense, what I can hear, what I can see, you know, like what I can smell, what I can feel, the temperature changing or whatever, the wind is blowing. And then also be able to see on the greater, like, geopolitical scale, you know, like the bigger picture, and then even the cosmic picture. But if I'm ignoring all of that, or even any of that, then I won't actually understand and have full compassion for anyone that's moving through it themselves. You know, I heard someone say today that they would rather kill a human than kill an animal. And I was like, I've heard this statement before from people, you know, And the ironic thing about it is like that humans are animals. I think we are. Hello, we're mammals. We're all born from a water sac, amniotic fluid from the mother. All little earthlings. Some are 2-legged, some are 4. Some have wings. Anyway. But what I felt when I felt into this person's heart and I felt into their field and like what would actually cause them to share such information was I felt their love of animals. They have such a deep love for animals. Like they think they're cute, you know, they're unconditional love. We do that. And we've just been missing the mark to see each other as love nuggets of unconditional love that want nothing more than to just be paid attention to, be held, be played with, be given clean food, clean water, safe places to live. But then we have to look at that within ourselves and see that that's our true basic desires. And the sadness of that, maybe, upon that realization that those are our basic desires, like our true desires. But we show up in a world where we talk about how we desire this fancy car and a house that has, you know, more bedrooms than I would ever use, or land to sell to colliers to just make another conglomerate that is basically a big asphalt haven for consumerism. Yeah. When we sense our true desires, it makes the superficial desires seem kind of lame. But we've been told that those superficial desires, once achieved or acquired, makes us better, makes us good. You know, makes us better than, makes us worthy, makes us valuable, makes us important. Nobody wants to be seen as poor. We've been programmed that that's the ultimate shame. And when we feel into the fullness of our own hearts, how many of us are not at capacity of fullness? How many of us are actually heart poor? Where we don't have the same amount of love for this tree as that tree, because that tree has all these carvings on it from all these people that want to imprint their initials and hearts with arrows through it on its bark. Not asking the tree, hey, is it, I love you so much, like, is it cool? I would love to imprint my initials on you, like, and actually have that communion, you know? Nope. Rather, the disconnect of relationship, the disconnect of the fullness of the heart is enough to make anyone wail. I imagine Great Spirit, right? That's like, okay, I'm bored. I'm kind of here by myself. Like, I am the M, the I am, and I am, and I am, and I am, the I am, and I am, the I am, and I am, the I am, and I want to see something else because I don't really have, I have the all-seeing eye. I know, I'll make life. Yeah. And so, like, this idea is birthed from the cosmic heart of goodness and, like, emanates into the formless energy field of Shakti. And next thing you know, we have Earth, and we have the cosmic waters, and we have stars, and we have planets, or whatever you believe in. A turtle with a whole living organism on the back that we call ourselves. Maybe it's a giant petri dish, and God has glasses and a white lab coat. I don't know. I don't see God as like a being like that. Anyway, that's not my point. My point. And the deal is, like, you know, you come into human and you're like, okay, I'm not going to remember shit. I'm not going to remember that I came from the one, that I chose on some level to incarnate and have this experience so I can experience the sound of children laughing. So I can feel the just energy and physical like power of a waterfall. That I get to wonder at the spiraling nature of the moonflower before it opens up. Wow. And that I get to feel the biggest love, because I'm going to feel grief. I'm going to love so big and I'm going to lose it all. And I'm not going to have a really hard time remembering that I'm from this one. But that's going to be like the game, right? Like I'm going to remember I'm the one. We're all part of the one. We're all part of the same family. And then how can I live as the one here? And I can only imagine like the players of the game before they come into form, that are like able to like keep watch, that are like watching this play out from a very much higher perspective, watching it all play out. Hey, what's happening? Look at Jane over there. She's talking to a phone on a table in the park. There's a storm really close by. Does she even know? Ooh, let's find out, you know? But I wonder if they're looking and they're like all the angels and ancestors and star beings and God and the infinite and just all of consciousness. I wonder if all of consciousness is peering upon us all and saying, wow, if they just, the words, they don't know that the kingdom of heaven is within. That God is within, the path to God is within. Like, come on, y'all have to remember, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Come on, wake up, wake up. Like, I feel like they're like banging and clanging and like, but we can't actually like go down there and touch someone and be like, wait a minute up. But sometimes those bang and clanks and things are what we need to hit us upside the head to wake us up. Sometimes we need to be jarred out of slumber. And how much more jarring can these nows be? I mean, really? Have we really become so desensitized, dehumanized? And then the feeling of helplessness. You know, people are like, well, what do I do? You know, what do I do? What do I do about what's happening, you know, to like in the Congo and Sudan and just, I mean, like in Lahaina, you know, like what can I do? Well, that's a whole other level of awakening, because then you got to see the companies that are profiting in this the game of monopoly that we're all experiencing. You know, who are the ones that own Boardwalk and Park Avenue and have all the hotels and blah blah blah, and not necessarily the literal Park Avenue and hotels, but like who owns, you know, like the media, who owns the pharmaceutical companies, who owns the prison and the school systems, who's the highest paid lobbyists. What companies are up there lobbying, spending like tens of millions of dollars to lobby against something where everyone else on land human is like, what? You are literally lobbying to stop the flow of all the water so that you can use the power from that water source to power your factory that's going to pollute the waters that we can't drink. And wait, so you're going to spend millions of dollars going to the government when I can't afford to take my 7 days of vacation. I can't go anywhere, you know, but you're going to spend all that money. So then we're like, what do we do? Well, I guess go back to community, go back to the land, go back to God, go back to discernment on where we spend our money, go back to the plants, go back to the air. Like it's, we have to go back to our indigenous roots. And here's the thing, some people are like, you're not indigenous. We all come from a timeline of human that was here before, that lived with the land. And side note, I have no idea what my lineage is. No idea. I never did the 23andMe DNA database hoax. Like, I didn't do that. And my family doesn't know. I have no idea. But I can tell you there are the cultures that were cosmically and galactically aligned, that were very clear on that. Those are the ones I align with the most. Anyway, that's not my point. My point is that there's a time. Oh, I got another whiff of the petrichor. Okay, anyway, I'm about to close down conversation. But I don't even remember what I was saying now. Damn, don't you love when that happens? Damn, I hate when that happens. I love it, I hate it. This is what it was. There is a time for everything. It's always the eternal now anyway, like it's literally only now. So that means that there is a time for wailing and crying and just kneeling and throwing yourself on the earth and crying out to this great mother to take the pain away. And there's a time for dancing upon her and creating a new rhythm. And there's a time to stop a recording because a lawnmower is moving by. I love you all so much. I'm here for guidance. I'm here for listening. I'm here for support. I'm here for cheering. I'm here as a bridge to God. So, love y'all. Bye.